Cooking safely, yes. Right, yeah. That's my final answer. Cooking safely. I'm terrible.
I am a straight donation station in Jupiter.
If you're low on cash, call Sawhead.
Give us a moment, FP. Give us a moment. Right in the middle. What a birdie.
Go, squeeze.
Can we just please stop saying this a moment ago?
Subtle signs that you're playing with a stick.
A bag? You want me to be intimidated by a fucking bag?
Time doesn't fly.
It's the most wonderful place in the world. There's Kikuya and Poa and downhill off one, and it's flat till 18. It's the most. We're at Riviera Country Club. My paramour.
Nice rendition.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like I'm on a rendezvous with my paramour right now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, you know that rush? I mean, I don't know. I'm from personal, so I can't say this from personal experience, but I would think that, you know, when you meet up with your paramour, it's probably like, you know, you're feeling a little gassed up. I am gassed up. We are here live on the range at Riviera Country Club ahead of the U.S. Women's Open, my favorite golf course on the planet. You know, I used to kind of shy away from that designation. I used to say, yeah, you know, there's apart from, you know, Cyprus or, you know, apart from Royal County. But like rating golf courses at a certain tier, it's a bit like rating like supermodels.
Yeah.
Or rating like, you know, 3-star. It's like they're all good. And at a certain point, it's personal preference.
If I told you early in the week you'd end up at one of them, you'd be happy no matter which one.
Exactly. It's the Harry Diamond, right? If I told you this on Monday morning, you would be happy. We are going to preview the tournament. We got Addie Parker here. You're telling me she's Miss LPGA. You were telling me this is your first time seeing her on the range. You said she's running things.
We got players coming out of their range stalls just to like get a fit check from Addie.
We got Megan Gehman, fresh off maybe the greatest college golf team ever. They won like every single tournament. I'm excited to talk to her about that and preview the tournament. But first, as always, we will start with the PGA Tour winner. So Russell Henley, look, I'm going to be honest with you. I still have a little bit of PTSD from Bethpage Black. It's going to be really hard for me to forget that putt. That was short against Shane Lowry, but he went a long way toward kind of getting that taste out of our mouth with a dog performance. Georgia Bulldog performance.
Coming out of nowhere.
Coming out of nowhere. So we had a lot of guys in the mix. We did the watch along. Thank you to everyone who joined the watch along on Sunday. It was awesome. Ben Griffin, he put up a real fight. He shot 30 on the front 9. He bogeyed the last par 5, which was 11. So you thought, okay, he's out of it. But then he stuck with it. He made a long birdie on 17, and then he had a real chance from 60 feet. It hit the lip on 18. And then Alex Smalley had a chance, showing that the Aronimink was not a fluke. Mac Meissner had a chance, went to SMU, went to high school in San Antonio, lives in Dallas.
Thought he was dead a couple of times.
Yep.
The
chat was trying to bury him, sort of a home game, so he equaled his best finish ever with a solo second with an up and down par on 18. And Michael Brennan had a half chance. So did Gary Woodland. We're going to hear from a lot of those guys later in the show, but this was the Russell Henley show. And like you said, it came on late. So because there were so many people in contention, they weren't even really showing his shots. Which is, it's easy to say, oh, CBS. We're pro CBS guys on this show. We love the broadcast on CBS. We think they do a great job. There were just a lot of guys in contention, and he wasn't really there until 16. But then he birdied 16, and he birdied 17, and it continued through 18. And this is the most emotion I had seen out of Russell Henley, maybe ever.
Fired us up.
Here's me watching with Ben on the watch along yesterday. Russell Henley could eliminate Ben Griffin and put a ton of pressure on Eric Cole. It looks good. It looks good. It gets into the right side of the hole.
Come
Russell
on.
Henley is pumped up. Okay.
Oh, he loves it.
Wow, what a back 9 from Russ Henley. He birdied 16, 17, and 18 to get to 12 under, and that is as fired up as you will ever see Russ Henley. It's easy to hit this fat. It's easy to catch it clean. I think he caught it nice.
But
All right, we're going to extra holes.
a little bit of a
We
pull.
are going to extra holes. Eric Cole chips it to about, 6 inches, and we are going to get some free golf here, fellas. We're getting some free golf at Colonial Country Club. It's going to be a 2-way sudden death playoff between Eric Cole and Russell Henley. Let's see if Eric Cole can find the fairway. Looked like it started left. Oh, he's got the one arm finished. Oh, no, this is way left. This is way left. This is way left. This is way left. How did that find the fairway? Is that going to stay in?
Oh, yeah.
No, it rolls just onto the edge, but that was, I don't know if it clipped something. That thing looked like it was going so far left, didn't it? And it still finds the fairway. That is lucky. Okay, here we go. Henley from 135. Looks like he's playing the draw. He's eyeing it up and down. Usually means that he likes it. How he loves it. What a shot from Russell Henley to about 4 feet. A reverse worm cam in a playoff. Life doesn't get any better than this. Hovers the putter a little bit. He's got it going on a good line. It doesn't break, though. It doesn't break. It misses on the high side.
He hit it firm, man.
He hit it firm. It was an aggressive putt, but Eric Cole has missed, which leaves Russell Henley 4 feet and 10 inches for a come-from-behind victory. Right edge putt. It's true. Russell Henley wins the Charles Schwab Challenge at Colonial. He birdies 16, he birdies 17, he birdies 18. A little bit of a break, playoff, 18th hole. Goes back, birdies that one again. And you can say, oh, Eric Cole limped in. Eric Cole didn't make a bogey coming in. Russell Henley absolutely won this tournament with an incredible final round flourish. Russell Henley, your 2026 Charles Schwab Challenge winner. Unexpected Sunday. You know, these two Texas events are kind of, you know, they're sandwiched between the PGA Championship, and we're headed to Columbus in about an hour and a half, which is crazy to think about. So drop us a like and subscribe to support all this content.
Help us get there.
Yes, help us get there. Help us. We got like 4 Greyhound buses to take, so help us get there. And after a 1-week hiatus, we didn't get the winter interview with Wyndham Clark, unfortunately, but we're back. We did get a winter interview with Russell Henley wearing a garment. I know you love the garment trophies. Yeah. He was wearing the plaid jacket. Let's hear from me and Russell Henley. So did they have your jacket size ready to go? Because that looks pretty perfect.
Yeah, I think they did. You know, I know that like the new cool way, like for clothes, is that they're tight. You know, and so it's not as tight as I would think. The way people wear blazers these days, but yeah, I think it fits pretty nice to me. It's pretty comfortable.
It looks great. Your patience was rewarded today. You know, watching the broadcast, there were so many guys that were in the mix that they weren't even showing that many of your shots because you were 3 shots back, and then you have this late flourish. Did you have a sort of like a conversation with yourself going into 16, or did you just start hitting better golf shots? Like, what changed?
You know, I had a pretty nice save for par on 13, the par 3. I hit a really nice putt. I hit a terrible 6-iron and just put it in the one spot you really can't hit it there. And I had to chip it when I was on the green. And so the next hole, I hit 2 perfect shots to about 8 feet on 14. I hit a great putt, barely missed. And then 15, I had to save par. I had a great 3-wood down the middle, but I just hit it. It just went a little too hot. And so I had to get it up and down there. And then 16, I was literally just trying to make a good swing. I really wasn't thinking about burning the last 3. I mean, this place is so tricky. I feel like I never got too far ahead of myself. Once I birdied 17, though, I knew I had a chance to birdie 18, and maybe who knows what would happen. And so, you know, I just got locked in there.
It was more emotion, I feel like, than I've seen out of you, certainly in a long time. I mean, you were fired up. You almost ripped your caddy's, you know, arm off his shoulder there. Well, why was this one so special?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like this year I've been a little bit off mentally. I think I've let my frustrations get the best of me. I feel like I've been a little bit all over the place with my golf swing, and just if something doesn't work, I'll change something. So I just felt like I've just been frustrated with the year. And I think this week I kind of made a conscious effort to fight all the way through no matter what I finished, and just feel like I had a good frame of mind. And, you know, I've been working hard at it. And, you know, I really love being in contention and playing with the best players in the world and trying to win tournaments and seeing what I'm made of. So it was just really fun to be in that situation. And I soaked it in and I just loved it. And so I love competing, and I think that emotion just came out.
It's an old school golf course this week. Perry Maxwell design. You got trees overhanging everywhere with a lot of rough. You got to hit it straight. I got to think you like a golf course, an old school golf course like this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the tours has gone a little bit towards the direction of, you know, everybody hits it really far, and I feel like we don't have courses like this as much, you know, where you just got to be in the fairway. And so, of course, you know, I love it. I wish more courses were like this. This is kind of what I thought pro golf was when I was growing up, is you had to hit the ball really straight, and that's what I always focused on doing. And now you have to hit it straight and far. But, you know, I think it's just a really cool test this week where it tests every part of your game. You have to hit it straight. You have to shape the ball right to left, left to right. I hit every single different shot you can hit this week. So it's a sweet spot.
You've actually noticed a shift, though? You feel like there's more courses now where the guys can kind of just step up and whack it?
Yes, I do.
All right, my last question for you, totally unrelated. This is Chris Hack's last week coaching college golf. You're a Georgia guy. What is Hack and sort of the Georgia golf, machine and community that he's built meant to you?
Yeah, I mean, Hacker was awesome for me in college. He just kept me patient. He never let me change my game, and I would always go into his office and ask, like, okay, what do I need to do to get better? What am I missing here? And he would always say, you're going to get better over time. Go work on your short game. You're going to get better by playing the best college events at the best courses against the best players. You're just going to get better. And the more you try to qualify for tournaments. And so he kind of helped me see like the long game. And, that isn't natural for me. I'm more of a tinkerer. I like to feel good about it all the time, no matter what. And so he definitely kind of helped guide me and stay on the right path where I didn't overthink or try too many different things. And so he helped me trust the process.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations. That was a hell of a performance down the stretch. Enjoy this one.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
So let's hear from some of the other contenders. We'll start with Eric Cole. So Eric Cole was chasing his first win on the PGA Tour. I think he's like 35, 36. He was kind of the rare case where he won Rookie of the Year as like a 33 or a 34-year-old, but he hadn't been able to get it over the line. He made a double bogey on 9, so he had a 2-shot lead, and then he made a double bogey on 9. Really steadied the ship after that. I think he made 8 pars and 1 birdie on the back. He couldn't quite get it done. He had a makeable birdie putt on 17. I think he hit a good shot into 18 that kind of got a bad bounce. I think he hit 2 good shots into 18 that both didn't kind of react the way that he wanted to.
It's kind of his tournament until that hole.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it felt like, well, he had a putt. I think it was 16 or maybe 17 to go 2 ahead while Henley was still chasing, and it ended up proving costly. And he made a solid par. A really lucky break on that tee shot. I think it did hit a tree. It was like a low pull that ended up in the fairway, and he was only 109 yards out. It rolled out to 320, but Henley putting it that close, I think, put a little bit of pressure on him. But let's hear from Eric Cole. Here he is.
Yeah, I was proud with the way I played. I think I played solid for the most part. Drove the ball pretty well, and yeah, I just needed to get shave a shot somewhere. But yeah, no, I was proud of the way I played, and it's disappointing, but I still feel good and happy with the way I played.
There's nothing to be ashamed of. He played well down the stretch. It wasn't like he blew it. Russell Henley just sometimes Wyndham Clark shoots 60 to beat you if you're Siwoo Kim, and sometimes if you're Eric Cole, a guy birdies the last 3 to beat you.
Walking away with points. Happy guy.
Walking away with points. So Ben Griffin was in the booth for a while. I saw someone say that Ben Griffin might have a future in the booth. I think him and Keith Mitchell are sort of battling it out. They're two that I see very, very comfortable in the booth these days.
I can really see that.
Yeah, Keith Mitchell is like, he's a mainstay in the booth. He's always out there. So I saw, so he was telling me at Augusta when I moderated that panel with him for Wheels Up that, I said, you had this incredible end of the season. You won 3 times last year, and you were sort of a little bit stuck in neutral to start the year. And he said, well, actually, this is kind of how it always goes. He said, I usually never play well on the West Coast, and then I kind of get into form as the season goes on. He just doesn't like playing that much early in the season. I thought it was a really interesting perspective for him to basically say that out loud. Here's Ben Griffin.
Yeah, I love this time of the year. If you look at my entire seasons or all my, my career on the PGA Tour, it's kind of been like this. I haven't played as great. That's to start the year on the West Coast. I'll probably always have that a little bit. I'm sure I could win Amex or Waste Management, Farmers. I'm not a big. I never play well at Torrey. I'll have to get over that hump a little bit. But golfers, when we pick our schedules, we kind of ask ourselves, if I have my C game a week like here versus my C game a week like Torrey, what's my finish going to be? My C game here could be still, top 10 finish, whereas a C game at Torrey Pines is almost always going to be a missed cut for me. So there's courses like that when I build my schedule because I've played on season or on tour for a few years now, been able to kind of tell where I play well and where I don't, and can build my schedule around that. Tiger used to always do it. Some of the best players in the game have always done it that way.
It's just interesting to hear someone like so forthright with that sort of perspective.
And the confidence that he has in his game. Like, he's like, my C game is going to top 10 at a place like this. That makes you think, with him playing that well this week, look out for him the next 2 weeks at some big boy golf courses.
He's a summer golfer, you know. He's a summer golfer, which is fine. You know, you don't have to.
That's when the big ones.
You don't have to make all of your hay early in the season. And then Gary Woodland. So Gary Woodland, he's up in the top 25 now of the FedEx Cup, which is awesome.
Yeah.
We love to see Gary playing well. Obviously, everyone knows the story, what he's been through, what he's still going through. It's not over.
But consistent for the past 6-7 weeks,
Very
8
consistent.
weeks.
He made a birdie on 18 for a super high finish. And here was Gary talking about where he is in his career right now.
It does, you know, and this is a marathon out here, and it's nice to be back in that range. I haven't been there in a long time, so it's nice to continue to play solid golf. Obviously, the win was great, but to continue to build off that, this was a nice statement for me as well.
So some other finishes to highlight. Justin Thomas finished tied for 13th. He kind of had a half chance going into Sunday, but shot just -1 the final day, so it wasn't good enough, but still a solid finish. Same for Hideki Matsuyama. Our boy Andy had a crazy parlay with Hideki. Did he tell you about that on Friday?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it was like he had like the first guy to score in the Hurricanes game, 15-1, parlayed with Hideki to win. It would have been, I think it was like 15 to win 7,000. Unfortunately,
He hit the first one.
Yeah, he hit the first one, and he was super excited when Hideki was one back going into the weekend. But he shot one over for the final round for a tie for 13th. Ludwig Oberg, another bit of a disappointing final round. He shot one over in the final round. He finished tied for 17th. Waiting for that Sunday charge from Ludwig. Hasn't
Looking at the
happened so far.
leaderboard Sunday morning, I almost thought he or Justin Thomas might have hit the gas and had like a blue chip Sunday.
It ended up being Russell Henley.
Henley had a blue chip Sunday.
Max Homa with his buddy on the bag, tied for 22nd finish. Saw he wore some loose pants. So
Yeah.
that was nice.
He said it makes shooting over par feel a little better.
As
That's true.
Two loose pants guys.
Yeah.
Who shoot over par quite
That's
often.
why we do it.
We can absolutely attest to that. Brant Snedeker, another solid week. Tied for 28th. I'm just saying. He's like one more win away from an awkward conversation.
He's playing golf the rest of it. He already told me
it's not happening no matter what. Yeah, he's in the field this week. I think we're going to interview him this week. He's in the field at Memorial. Nick Dunlap, he made his 4th cut in his last 5 starts. Yeah, he started the season with 6 missed cuts in his first 7. He made the cut in his first start of the year in Sony, then missed 6 in a row, and we've seen Nick Dunlap, high volatility player. He's got
Especially with the driver.
Yeah, a couple wins on the PGA Tour. That driver can go absolutely anywhere. But 4 cuts out of 5 is progress. From a not so fun angle, Tom Kim opened with I think it was 64, maybe 63. He had a really good round on Thursday. Rick picked him a couple weeks ago to push at the CJ Cup by Aaron Nelson. It didn't quite happen. He kind of just slowly bled this week.
Yeah.
I think it was like 72, 70, 74, so just a slow tumble. Saath Theegala, tie for 60th. It doesn't seem to be a great course for Saath, who can get a little bit wayward. He finished tied for 60th. Our man Neil Shipley missed another cut by 2. That's been the story of the year. Like he's missed a lot of cuts by 1 or 2 shots. And you're sort of running out of time now. I mean, he's still got all fall, right?
It's not the convo we thought we'd be having about Neil at this juncture.
No, but I always said since the beginning of the year that I think he's going to win one of those Midwestern events.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Minnesota. I'm thinking Detroit. I'm thinking Quad Cities, John Deere. I still believe in Neil, but he's got to get. I'm waiting for a week where he's in the morning-afternoon wave. Yeah. And he goes out and he just shoots 5 under in the first round. And it's just like, okay, we're making the cut this week. We're not worried about that.
Right.
I feel like he's had a lot starting in the afternoon. He shoots 1 under, 2 under the first day, and it's just like the whole. And I'm sure it's in his head now of trying to get to the weekend. Tony Finau missed the cut after his first top 10 in quite a long time. So
that was a shame to see.
That was a shame. Christo Lamprecht, another young guy.
The big dog.
The big 6'8" South African. He's also having a rough year. He's 182nd in the FedEx Cup. So some of the young guys who we had our eyes on this year, like a Luke Clanton. Luke Clanton did make the cut this week, but just hasn't quite happened the way that we maybe thought it was going to. Max Grazerman, Rick's pick, finished almost dead last.
Wow, really?
5 over par. Sungjae was a bad Sungjae week, so hopefully Willie's okay.
Max's brother doing okay in
yeah, Dean Grazerman. We're gonna give you a full. Move your microphone up.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna give you a full NCAA's update later in the show, and then Carl Phillips, another young guy who's having a rough go. He shot 8 over par, and he's down to 111th in the FedEx Cup. All right, that is our Colonial recap. Let's move into the Knockaround. We're both wearing the Knockarounds. Usually we have to put on the Knockarounds because we're in a studio, and you've said that you're not quite at the point in your life where you feel like you can be a sunglasses at all times guy.
Yeah, there's a level of fame you need to achieve before you're allowed.
We're not there yet, but maybe we'll get there. So all this to say, usually we have to put on the Knockarounds. We keep them with us at all times, but we have them on today. You have the panoramas on. I've got the tide pools on. These tide pools, I think they're I think they've elbowed out the Panoramas for me as my favorites.
Yeah, you wear them like every time.
They're pretty awesome. They're pretty awesome, as are all the other sunglasses that you can look at knockaround.com/golf. You go to knockaround.com/golf. You can look at all of the sunglasses on offer. And we have a promo code for you, DanOnGolf20. You go to knockaround.com/golf. You enter that promo code DanOnGolf20. You get 20% off your order. So these sunglasses are incredible quality, and they're the right price. They're the best sunglasses for the right price. They're the best sunglasses for the right price. They're the best sunglasses for the right price. You don't have to pay $150, $180, $300 for sunglasses. Go to knockaround.com, build yourself a cart, use the promo code DanOnGolf20, and you'll be a very happy person moving into summer. Okay, we are going to start with LIV Golf. So LIV Korea was won by Joaquin Niemann. That is his 8th win on LIV Golf. That is 3 more than any other LIV player. I did a little research.
Yeah.
So not including, whatever he got to sign on, which I think it's fair to, because he went in 2022, which was like when the big
triple-digit millions.
Yeah, maybe not triple digits, but definitely high 8 figures.
Yeah.
Maybe not 9 figures. So
somewhere in the 75 million
75
range.
kind of came up, but that's just that's just a guess, but it's an educated guess. So not including that, if you just count all the money that he's made from the purses and from, he's won a couple bonuses, like for being in the top 2 or 3 at the end of the year, he's made $76 million on LIV Golf in less than 4 years. But, and it's a huge but, still just one major top 10 in 28 tries. And everyone's saying, oh, you're LIV bias. If there was a player on the PGA Tour who had won 3 more times than anybody else in the last 4 years, and they kept putting up duds in the majors, we'd be having the exact same conversation.
We'd be having a conversation constantly about them.
We'd be having the exact same conversation.
We just aren't talking that much about Joaquin because we don't get to watch him play as
Right,
much.
he is into Shinnecock. So he got into Shinnecock because he was the highest finisher in the top 3 who wasn't already exempt from last year's standings from LIV. Got an invite into Shinnecock. So he is into Shinnecock, so he gets another chance. Bryson consulted AI.
Yes.
Yeah, he finished solo 3rd and said he was having trouble kind of releasing the club head, and he credited Gemini, which is not the AI that I use or you use.
No.
But there's a lot of AIs out there.
Yeah, that's the Google one.
That's the Google one. Here's Bryson talking about his electronic swing coach.
I spent some long hours on the range trying to figure some stuff out, and I was talking to AI last night quite a bit, trying to go through some different physics principles that makes the club turn over, having some alpha torque and gamma torque put in there. I was like, what makes that passively do that? And was talking about just, grip pressure and tension. And so I came out here today with just a little bit more freer hands, and I felt the club a lot better, and I felt like I could close the club a lot more effectively, and then I started striping it.
There was a tweet that went kind of viral 2 weeks ago that it was fake, but the tweet was, Elon Musk says that you'll be able to download an NBA player's jump shot by 2028 with Neuralink. And it was not real, but it got me thinking, there probably is a future where you have to ban AI in some capacity.
Because there's an advantage.
Yeah. I mean,
well, no, it'll be available to everybody.
Well, so are steroids.
Yeah.
I
guess that's
Bet
true.
you didn't think about that.
I'm just glad Bryson found a friend.
Oh, that's mean.
That seems like he finally found his match,
That's
like his
mean.
person.
That was a mean thing to say. A mean thing on this show.
I don't think it's that unfair.
John Rahm finished tied for 16th. So I tried to look at the LIV website and figure out how many top 10s in a row that was. The LIV website is cancer. If you go back, if you look at the 2026 season, it has all the tournaments. If you go back to 2025, only 12 out of the 15 tournaments are listed in the results. If you go back to 2023, there's 3 tournaments that are listed. It's crazy.
You know what? Money
budget
can't
cuts.
buy a lot of things. You know what it can buy? A functional website.
Well, they're definitely cutting back. I mean, we saw earlier the Every Shot Live thing is not a thing anymore.
They're giving refunds to people.
They're giving
I saw some diehards saying, "You keep my $3.99. Consider it an investment."
Investment in the future of the league. Yeah, these guys are going to need a lot more than $3.99.
Thank you for your $4, sir.
That was just the second event that he's ever not finished in the top 10 on LIV Golf. Céline Boutier of France. I've actually played with Céline Boutier of France with a scorecard in my pocket. Ask me when.
When?
I played in I don't remember what round it was, but it was the Hilton Grand Vacations down in Orlando. It was it's like the LPGA version of the AT&T Pro-Am.
Yeah.
Barstool had a team. So we each played 1 round, and I played with Céline. She's a lovely girl from France.
Love it.
She was 4 back to start the day. It's her 7th win on tour, so bringing some momentum here to Riviera.
Need it.
Over on the DP World Tour, Kota Kaneko of Japan got the win in Austria, his first win. There was a 71-minute weather delay, and he chipped in on 16 for the victory. He finished second the week before in Belgium, so he's got the hot hand, and he also has just a wild
Oh yeah, we
golf
have the swing, right?
Let's take a peek at Kota's swing right here. All right,
who is he looking at?
That's just gonna make me dizzy. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of reminds me of Justin Thomas, where he does like the rehearsal.
Yeah.
He checks it, but if he just kept ripping
He just kept going.
because he checks it and then he goes back.
It reminds me of someone who thinks there's like a hit out on them. They need to watch their back before every shot.
Yeah, it's like Happy Gilmore. He's looking for the guy who's like jackass right behind him.
Yeah, don't say it.
Okay, let's move over to NCAAs. So the women's NCAAs wrapped up while we were doing the show last week on Wednesday. Stanford, just a dominant team. We're gonna have Megha Gane on the show. She's one of the best players on that team. They have 4 players in the top 10 of the world amateur rankings and 5 of the top 17. Just insanely dominant. They won the stroke play by 13 shots. They cruised to the match play victory. No surprise there. Farrah O'Keefe of Texas won the individual by 2 over Megha Gane of Stanford, who finished second. And then the men, so I'm gonna give you an update right now. The final round of the men's competition is going on. I think the first group starts pretty soon. So they play 3 rounds, and then the bottom half of the field are cut. So some of the teams that missed the 36-hole cut, Pepperdine, number 14, missed it. Number 6, Arkansas, missed it. Georgia missed it. Number 23, that was Chris Hack's final round as an NCAA coach. Arizona State, number 13, they missed it. And then the highest ranked team, besides Arkansas, that missed it, was number 9, Ole Miss, the SEC champions. So a couple teams that were outside but played a great final round or great third round to squeak in. LSU shot 18 under yesterday. That was the best round of any team by 11 shots. They were way outside. They snuck in. So they're now at 2 over. They're just 3 back of that 8th spot. So it's going to be, there's a lot of volatility in college golf because it's college kids, right? They're not tour pros. And there's 4 scores that count. And Florida also needed a -4 round to get in. So the 15 teams that have qualified for the team competition, and then after today, the top 8 advance to match play. But the gap right now between 8th and 15th is only 3 shots, so it's all to play for at La Costa. We'll start with tied for 12th teams. We have LSU, San Diego, Tennessee, and Stanford. They are at 2 over. Florida and Virginia. Virginia's number 4. They're at 1 over. Oklahoma is even par. Duke is 1 under. In 7th, we have North Carolina. Tied for 4th, 3 teams. Oklahoma State, Arizona, UCLA. UCLA is the highest ranked team. Actually, no, San Diego is. UCLA is the 2nd highest ranked team playing. Then in 3rd, we have Vanderbilt. And then these 2 teams seem pretty solid to make it to match play.
Yeah.
In 2nd place, we have number 3, Texas, and we have number 1, Auburn. Also today, will crown the NCAA individual champion. So they use the first 4 rounds, all 4 rounds of stroke play to crown the individual champion. Preston Stout has a 1-shot lead. He's 11 under from Oklahoma State. You know, a lot of attention on Jackson Koiven. Could be his last week as an amateur golfer. I mean, he can go right to the PGA Tour. He could turn pro tomorrow. Who knows what's going to happen? That's the same thing with Preston Stout. He's not, I don't think he has his PGA Tour card locked up, so maybe he's more likely to come back. But, you know, for all the attention of Jackson Koiven, Preston Stout has had an incredible year. He's got a bunch of wins. He won the Big 12. Him and Jackson have both played 3 years and won their conference all 3 times. Both made history, first guys in decades to do that. So he's chasing the NCAAs. He's got a 1-shot lead over Philip Jakubčić from Arizona, William Jennings from Alabama, who's playing as an individual. Alabama did not qualify, but he did. And Will Hartman from Vanderbilt, and then at 9 under is Josiah Gilbert from Auburn and Baylor Larrabee from UCLA. Jackson Koiven is in a tie for 7th. He's at 6 under. He's 5 shots back. This is basically the only thing left for him to play for. So let's see if he can
make
get
a
it
run,
done.
Jackson.
Make a run.
Get after it.
Get after it. Absolutely. We have some more college golf news. UNLV hired a new head coach, and it's Andres Gonzalez, a guy who I've spent a lot of time around. Played on the PGA Tour. He's been doing a lot of PGA Tour Live. I think going back home where he went to, which is UNLV, to be the college golf coach, it's a pretty good second act for a professional golfer.
It's good for karma too.
It's just
like the right thing to do.
It makes you feel nice, and we will wrap up the Knockaround with the Korn Ferry Tour was won by Alvaro Ortiz, younger brother to Carlos.
Hell yeah.
He won in the playoff over Ross Steelman. Don't say Streelman.
Don't
it's
say his
Steelman. And then Blades Brown, another solid week. He finished tied for 13th. So he is up to number 11 in the points. All right, I have an official statement. Let's cue the lights. It's impossible. We can't do that. We're outside.
Come on.
But the Champions League final made me think about golf, which is probably no surprise. I'm kind of obsessed, but it made me appreciate golf because in golf, your score is your score. There are no style points. There's no getting away with it. Mm-hmm. So there's no prevent defense. There's no running out the clock. There's no parking the bus like Arsenal did in the Champions League final. So for those who aren't soccer fans, Arsenal played PSG in the Champions League final on Saturday. They had 25% possession. That was the lowest ever on record for a Champions League final. They scored an early goal of kind of a freak deflection, and then they put 11 men behind the ball and essentially played for penalties to try to run the clock out. And of course, it made me think of golf because everything does. And I just thought, how cool is it in our sport that you can't do that? You know, you can't get off to a good start and then just hold on for dear life.
Yeah.
Every hole is a unique challenge. It's basically 18 mini games, and you have to complete them all to win the tournament. So often in other sports, the better team doesn't necessarily win. In golf, there's a certain justice in it. There's a certain honesty in it. It's the ultimate meritocracy. How you played, it can be summed up in one statistic: your score. It's honest. It's right in front of you. It's the best test of mettle coming down the stretch. You can't just make a couple birdies on 18 and then basically take a knee for the rest of the round. We've seen guys try to do that. It never works. It is the ultimate test of your will, and I love our sport for what it is.
I love that. It's almost like golf is all offense. There's no defense.
Correct.
Like
you can't play defense
when
out
you
there.
play defense, you're playing it against a worse version of what your score is about to be. Like you're defending a double bogey to try to make a bogey.
Yeah.
You know, but it's all like the
You
golf
can't
course
win
is the
that
only
way.
one playing
you
defense.
can't win in soccer. You can win that way. You can score and you can
hold it.
and you can hold it, and you just can't do
There's
that.
119 other guys playing golf out there.
And you can't. And it's very rare. It never happens where you watch a golf tournament and you say the best player didn't win, because the best player, by definition, is whoever shot the lowest score.
Which was my whole point about the PGA Championship.
Yeah, Aaron Rai was the best player.
Aaron Rai was the best player that week.
Very
across
fair.
4 days.
All right, let's bring on Addie Parker, our LPGA
insider.
Ben was very impressed. He was watching you on the range, and he said that, you know, you got a little bit of aura out here.
I saw Maya Stark come out of her stall and ask you for a fit check. Is that what was happening over there?
Maya's my girl. We've been talking about her scripting for this week since TOC, like the first event back in January. So I told her, I was like, I need the insider scoop. I need the dish. So give it to me.
She turned around. She was like, "Is this all right?"
Yeah,
it's good.
And she looks good.
Is this the biggest week in women's golf? Feels like. I mean, this is my favorite golf course on the planet.
I would say this feels like our Super Bowl in so many ways.
Yeah.
I think one, the USGA just really knows how to throw an event. They know how to run a championship.
Yeah.
But also, this setting,
Yeah.
Riviera is, I mean, unbelievable. So yeah, this is probably the biggest week of women's golf for sure.
All right, so you've got some players for us to watch.
I do.
Let's run through some of them.
I do. You asked me who I think is my pick this week, and I feel like I'm jumping on the bandwagon by saying Nelly Korda, but
Okay.
I don't think that there is another option.
You think she's going first 2 majors of the year?
I do, and I say that not because I am like buying the whatever. Like I say that because I've watched Nelly Korda play this year quite a bit, and I think she is the most confident, the most settled she's ever looked in her professional career.
That's scary.
Exactly.
For everyone else.
And most importantly, I watched her last year leaving Erin Hills with pep in her step like I've never seen before. She does not have a great track record at the U.S. Women's Open, but she finished tied for second last year, and I think that gave her the boost of, you know, I can win this thing. And I think a great comparison, Ben and I were talking about a couple weeks ago, is that this is a little bit like Rory in the Masters, Nelly in the U.S. Women's Open.
She's got to win it to complete her resume. She has
does.
to. Yeah.
She does, and I think it's that same kind of, you know, push and pull with her. She has the ability to win, but I just think it's the right time, and I think this is her time.
I feel like it would be, you know, the stars are aligning. We're here in Los Angeles.
Exactly.
It's an incredible golf course. I played this course a couple weeks ago. I liked Nelly as well because I think this is going to be a true ball striker's test, and I think her power is going to be rewarded because, you know, this course with the way it's laid out with Kikuya in front of the greens and then really firm greens, you're going to have to carry everything there. You're going to have to hit it high. You're going to have to hit it with a lot of spin. So I think her ball striking is going to help her stand out this week. Okay, give us some more players to keep an eye on.
I mean, my girl, Hollywood Hannah Green.
Hollywood Hannah Green. Is that your nickname for her, or is that her nickname?
It's everybody's.
Okay.
When you win the JM Eagle LA Championship 3 times in 4 years.
She likes LA.
She loves LA, and she will say that to you. She loves LA. I like her chances. I think she's been in a little bit of a slump. She won early in the year, but I really do feel like Hannah has what it takes. She loves the conditions out here. She just plays well in Southern California.
Yeah.
And I think she's one to watch. I also feel like you can't count out Gino Titakum. She is looking for her maiden major. it's again has always kind of just escaped her. Like it feels like when the week approaches, it's like we don't recognize this player. But she's been resting. She had a win at Mizuho and then backed that up with a top 10. I feel like I like Gino. I always like Gino. She's been working on her irons a little bit, and I think she's there. So
she grabbed that #1 spot in the world for what, 1 week until Nelly won and then went back. Did it?
So Gino took over world #1 like late last summer, and then
okay, so it had been a while
and held it for a little while. But I mean, when Nelly goes win top two for the next 6 weeks, it's kind of hard. So
all right, next up,
Celine Boutier.
Oh, my girl, I played with her.
Listen, and she just won at ShopRite yesterday. I mean, she might be suffering with a little bit of exhaustion.
I was going to say, when I saw that was in New Jersey, it's a bit of a hike.
Bit of a hike.
Yeah.
I think it was only one player in the top 10. Charlie Hall was the only person in the top 10 to play last week, and so understandably, coming from Jersey all the way out to LA is not an easy
And conditions are totally different.
Completely. So I think, but Celine, also a major winner, won the Evian Championship at home in France, and so I think she knows what it takes to get it done.
And that's a pressure situation too. A French player winning in France,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also, she hasn't missed a cut this year. She's been very steady, very consistent. So I think again, this is a 156 player field, and quite literally, I think anyone is capable of winning. But if I had to put my money on some players, it is those four. And outside of them, I mean, obviously Michelle Wee West. I just got to talk to her in the Nike Tour truck.
There's going to be some eyeballs on her for sure.
She has some really cool kicks that they're debuting this week. I got to watch her open them with her and her daughter, McKenna, which was super special. So obviously she's going to have some eyes on her. We got Yanni Singh, who's back in the mix. She got a special exemption this week.
We have the same swing coach, me and her.
Do you really?
Brady Riggs, yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah, me and Yanni. Stablemates.
Are you going to go lefty on the putter too?
No. I do go back and forth with the claw, but I think lefty with the putter's a step too far.
Are you clawing right now?
Ask me next week.
I couldn't remember from last week.
I couldn't remember much from last week.
But it's nice to see Yanni. I think she's had a crazy story. Former world #1, won 5 majors super early in her career.
Fell off the planet.
And just got, injury, got in the mental slump. But last year she won in her home country at the end of the season in October. Made her first cut since 2018 at the end of last summer. I mean, this special exemption means the world to her.
Yeah. What about some of the youngins?
I mean, I heard you talking about my girl Mega Gane earlier.
Yeah.
I got to talk to her at Chevron a little bit. This week is huge for her. I really, really love Farrah O'Keefe. I cannot emphasize that enough. She's in the field, got in because of the Natty.
So last week she wins at La Costa and then immediately drives up the 405 or the 5, depending if you want to pay the toll roads. By the way, just a tangent here. There's so many fucking toll roads.
I know.
Every time I drive from San Diego to LA, I end up with $50 of tolls in my mail. And I don't know if that's because I don't pay them on time, but I didn't think the West Coast does toll roads. I thought
they do.
It's crazy.
They do actually have a very complicated version of it. You just have to buy one of those stickers.
Well, there's one of them that says fast track only, and I think that one's where you get the big fine. Then there's one that says fast track or pay on my. Okay.
Oh, that's a fine.
Let's go back to Farrah O'Keefe.
Farrah O'Keefe. So she actually left Chevron, where she it was her Chevron debut in her home state of Texas. She left Chevron after being the low AM that week. Went to play in a USGA qualifier for this. Was the first alternate, missed it, but then went to Southern California last week and won the national championship individual title and got in and
stay hot.
Stay hot. She's also playing Curtis Cup next week at Bel Air Country Club. So I'm obsessed with her. I fell in love with her at Chevron.
Curtis Cup's next week at Bel Air.
Exactly.
What a run for them.
I know.
What a run.
I know. You got to play here and Bel Air in the warm up to it.
NCAA's at La Costa, to the U.S. Women's Open at Riviera,
to Curtis Cup.
To Curtis Cup at Bel Air. That is
happy June.
Insane.
Hell yeah. What about Asterix? She's in the field, isn't she?
Asterix. I was just looking at her bag. She has that sick tailor-made bag that they came out with.
What is it?
It's like a pink and green with martini glasses. It's
hell yeah.
Very, very sexy.
Palm
actually.
trees on it.
Yeah, it's very, very fun. This is Asterix's 3rd U.S. Women's Open. We fell in love with her at Lancaster, where she got co-low am honors there. I think she's truly one of the most formidable players in women's amateur golf. She's going to Stanford at the end of next year. I mean,
of course she is.
And it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
When I spend time around Mega, even their coach Ann Walker, she feels exactly like what Stanford is looking for. I think any player out here, Andrea Lee is a good friend of mine too, played at Stanford with that team with Mariah Stackhouse. They're building a dynasty, and I think Asterix is definitely going to help carry that torch.
I wanted to ask you, I feel like there's less of a gap in the women's game between the top amateurs and the pros. Why do you think that is?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it is, but I think what we're also watching is that these are young women who get an opportunity to play on the LPGA Tour a lot more. I think sponsor invites and things like that are a little bit more gettable for them.
Okay.
I think they have, and now with this new generation, it's like social media is a thing. We know who they are.
Yeah.
They're able to build star power, so it's an easier way to kind of see them, take advantage of what they have going on, and getting them in front of viewers. So I think, you know, Asterix feels very much like this culmination of...
She feels established already, which is kinda,
100%.
yeah.
And she's only 17 years old.
Yeah.
But I think we've always kind of seen the sensation of like teenagers in every generation. It was Lydia Ko,
Michelle
Wee,
yeah.
Lexi Thompson. Like, I
Yeah.
think that is a trend that has always kind of persisted in women's golf. But this new crop of young faces feels... Like, even Megha Gandhi, I'm like, I watched you at Olympic Club when you were 17.
That was, what, 5 years ago, 6 years
Exactly.
ago? Yeah.
And she, just talking to her, the way she carries herself, I'm like, I'm talking to a professional golfer right now. Like,
when I saw her, so we went to Stanford last fall to do the Scratch University, and I saw her, I was like, wait, you're still in college? Because it just felt like they've been doing this
You
for
just used
so
to seeing
long.
her here, not
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, what's your plans for the week? You're going to be here all week?
Here all week. And truly, my first time covering a major, like, Monday to Sunday.
Yeah, it's
like
a grind.
it is a grind.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Addie, I did want to ask you. You got to play the course
I
in its
did.
tournament conditions a few weeks ago.
I
did. We covered the Genesis every year. We have played here from the members' tees.
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference that we're going to be seeing, like even on TV this week, as the ladies play 10, as they play
Mm-hmm.
6 with the bunker in the green, as they play 18?
You got to
with
make
that
10
tee shot?
drivable like they do for the men, right? They have to,
I think it
gotta
is.
move
That's why I'm curious.
That is something that the USGA loves to do, that especially over the weekend, is making a shorter par 4 drivable, because I mean, especially on a Sunday, it gets the players' adrenaline is up.
Exciting.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It forces decision making. I think hole 8 will definitely be a big difference in what we see, because I think we always see the men go up the left-hand side,
Yeah.
but a lot of these women are a little bit shorter. They
Right.
might be playing a little bit more conservatively, so we might see that right side get utilized a lot more than we would during Genesis. So
Interesting.
I think number 4 is also a big one.
The new tee on 4 for the men's like 270.
Yeah, how long is that playing at number 4? Is
when
it over
I
200?
played it was just under 200. It was about like 195, but the wind was
You can feel this one
gusting
off
in
the
my
ocean.
face.
It's
Where it's coming from,
right
that's right
into
So
your
it was
face.
really like a 220, 225 par 3 for me. And I mean, I took a 3-wood and ended pin high on the right. Like, I was not mad about it.
That's a great
So
shot. Yeah,
That's a really good shot.
I think we'll definitely see a lot of long, deep shots into 4.
I think the scoring is going to be high. I think it's going to play really tough.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I want that. Like,
Yeah.
I think, especially from Memorial, where we saw, like, Nelly went psycho mode. Like,
Yeah,
that was crazy. So I think this will be, expect a true U.S. Open out here.
Yeah, even
for
par is
sure.
going to be a great score. I think that's what. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
That
Good
was
luck out there,
fantastic.
Addie.
I feel
Thanks,
much
guys.
smarter.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much. All right, Ben, we have a Dankings.
Yeah. What are you danking
We
this
got
week?
kind of a little bit of a spicy Dankings. Oh, we have
Oh.
some. We have some breaking news. Breaking
Oh my
news. Breaking
gosh.
news. Everyone's saying breaking news. Okay, Century will compete at Torrey Pines in 2027. Wow, that's breaking. I mean, that's news. Basically, they got a new sponsor. So the Century.
For Torrey.
Yeah. Well,
it's not Farmers Insurance Open
correct.
anymore.
Well, Century was in Hawaii.
It was in Hawaii.
Century likes to be involved in golf. They stay involved in golf. Farmers gets out. Century slides into Torrey Pines. So that makes sense.
Is it that the difference is it going to be like the Tournament of Champions still?
I don't know.
Or is it going to be just the Torrey event but called the Century?
I think it's probably just gonna be. There's no way that Torrey event's a tried and true PGA. I can't imagine that being like a 40-man field.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be the same as it always is with the 100 full field. But
that's cool.
Yeah, I guess that's cool. I don't know,
we
breaking news is a little bit okay. For 75 years, the PGA Tour has hosted elite competition in San Diego. I was just reading it, and Andy put it off the screen. But so yeah, the Torrey Pines event will be sponsored by Century. So that's great news. Here it is. We're back. As we look to create the best possible version of the PGA Tour, we are pleased to have the support of Century and the Century Club of San Diego to further grow. Fans and players have long recognized as one of the game's most celebrated events. Great. Cool. All right. So there's some sponsor news. Okay. Now let's move into the Dankings. We're going to be
ranking.
We are going to be ranking the top 10 players that I'm going to say that again. We're going to be ranking the top 10 LIV players that I personally most want to see back on the PGA Tour.
Okay.
I think number 1's going to surprise you. And the caveat here of no Phil Mickelson is Phil turns 56 in June. And Phil has not played. He's played one event, I think, since August. So, I don't think realistically Phil's going to be playing 30 events on the PGA Tour moving forward. So
we're accepting any Phil return as just like
it's a bonus.
Emeritus stuff.
Correct. It's a bonus. Okay, let's start with number 10, Yosele Ballester.
Wow, that actually surprises me.
It does. So I take the piss out of this guy sometimes, literally. Doesn't mean I don't like him. I love characters. The kid has some moxie. He's got a little bit of an edge, and he also has 190 plus mile per hour ball speed. I love a little Spanish fire. You want to hear an absolutely wild statistic? Do you know how many Spanish players there are on the PGA Tour right now?
Can I take a guess? 14?
0.
What, really?
14.
I don't know.
0. There's not a single Spanish player in the FedEx Cup standings right now. John Rahm, gone. David Puig, gone. Sergio Garcia, gone. Yosele Ballester, gone. Like Rafa Cabrera Bello, he's not playing on tour anymore.
Yeah.
So I want some Spanish fire back. Number 9, Dustin Johnson, also might surprise you a little bit.
Yeah, he feels like more emeritus
Mostly
stuff.
for the interviews. The Long Live Golf was absolutely phenomenal. But DJ's a legend. I think his the conversation about DJ oftentimes is what he hasn't done, but if you focus on what he has done, lifetime member on the PGA Tour, 20 wins, 2 major championships, 1 a Masters, 1 a US Open, and people writing off DJ. I think at age 41, I think there's another act in there. Okay, number 8, Matthew Wolff.
Oh,
Matthew
wow,
Wolff,
a lot of shocking
surprised me
picks
a little
here.
bit.
Yeah.
Matthew Wolff was all the rage in 2020. He finished top 5 in 2 majors. He finished solo second to Bryson DeChambeau. That golf swing is just, it hops off the screen. I feel like him being in contention or being in the mix, it's just it's a personality. It's a name from the past. I would like to see Matthew
I would
Wolff.
hope your optimism brings his game back.
Yeah, I don't know if he would want to come back, but I want him back. Number 7, David Puig. Great young player from Spain. Been really good on the DP World Tour as well. He's just 24 years old.
Just true talent.
He's 42nd in data golf, so he's already, by the smart people at data golf, one of the top 50 players in the world. I think this guy could play on the Ryder Cup in the future. More talent would be good. Number 6, Cameron Smith. Won the Players' Championship and the Open in 2022 and showed he's on the mend. He's got a new swing coach with Claude Harmon. He finished tied for second at Aronimink. We're Wormcam guys, famously Wormcam guys. We're also Mallet guys. Well, I'm a Mallet guy, but you're a Blade guy. But there's something special about the Cam Smith Wormcam with that blade. It's just, he's got one of the purest putting strokes I've ever seen. So for Wormcam purposes, I would like him back. Number 5, Anthony Kim.
Yeah.
Just box office.
Potential number 1 seed in this ranking, if you're asking me. But it's
box
your
office
ranking.
giving birth to box office. I just want to see him back on the biggest stages. I want to see him more. I don't want LIV going away to mean that Anthony Kim goes away, because that story, it was one of the best stories of the year in golf. I think we'll get to the end of the year and we'll still feel that was one of the best stories of the year in golf. Tyrrell Hatton is number 4.
Yeah.
Another box office guy. You never know what incredible soundbite you're going to get. He's a world-class player with Ryder Cup pedigree. He's been close in a bunch of major championships. We could use Tyrrell back in the mix. Number 3, Joaquin Niemann. 8 wins on LIV Golf.
Need him.
He's been the breakout star on LIV, and I think he'd be a consistent force on the PGA Tour. I get that question a lot. Do you think Niemann would win PGA Tour events? Yes, I do.
Yes.
The major championship stuff, I think, is separate. It's pressure. It's different golf courses. And we talked about this yesterday, though. I think Niemann has been a really interesting test case, sort of case study for LIV Golf, because of the guys who get a lot of attention on LIV, most of them were already stars when they went. Right? You think of Bryson DeChambeau, you think of John Rahm, you think of Brooks when he was there, you think of Patrick Reed when he was there. Joaquin Niemann was the one player who really elevated himself as a player on LIV, and I think his inability to carry that over into the majors was a little bit damaging for LIV. I remember last year when he won 5 times early in the season, there was all this talk, is Joaquin Niemann actually the best player in the world?
Right.
They hyped him up. Phil was saying he's the best player in the world, saying Scotty's not going to win again. It didn't go that way. I just think Niemann not carrying it over was, in hindsight, not a great result for LIV, but he's 27. He's still so young, and I remember him winning this event here, Genesis at Riviera. He ran away with it as like a 23-year-old, so he's a huge talent.
If you look at the list of winners this year on the PGA Tour, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone you thought Joaquin couldn't beat.
No, he's got all the game in the world. He has not shown it in the majors, but he's not the only player who's struggled to carry over the form from the PGA Tour into the majors.
It's a really interesting case.
Number 2 is Bryson DeChambeau, not number 1. That might surprise people. I don't really need to say all that much more here. He's a unique figure in the game. What he does off the course, he puts butts in the seats. He's hugely popular with the kids. The question here is obviously how bad does he want to come back? It doesn't seem like that badly. It's not like he was a guy who adored the PGA Tour when he was there. He left and there was a little bit of strife between him and the PGA Tour. So Bryson, he puts butts in seats. He's huge with the younger crowd. Would love to see him back on tour. He's number 2 on my list. It's not disrespectful because number 1 on my list is John Rahm.
Yeah.
For me, he's the one. He was a PGA Tour guy, man. Torrey Pines here at Riviera.
Pledged his fealty.
Love WM Phoenix Open. He was just, the leaderboards feel a touch bit naked without him on it. I feel like he's a guy who brings that intensity every single week. He's so consistent. He's a consistent name at the top of the board. You know, Bryson will win tournaments, but he'll also miss cuts. Rahm, not so much. You know, I just feel like I'm thinking about Bay Hill. I'm thinking about Riviera. I'm thinking about Memorial, where he had the 6-shot lead before getting told that he had COVID and had to leave.
Oh man,
like
I will never.
I just feel like the big PGA Tour events, Players Championship, those leaderboards, they've got Scheffler on them, they've got McIlroy on them, they've got Schauffele on them, and I feel like Rahm, that name, that Spanish fire, that's the one I feel like I want back the most.
The days where you turn on the tournament and you're like, what are the names on the leaderboard? And if it isn't like the number 1 player in the world, number 2 player in the world, it's somebody else that has like that blue chip.
Yeah.
And LIV took a lot of those, like, oh, if Scotty's playing bad this week, at least we have.
They took a lot of the box office guys, for sure. But Rahm for me isn't, you know, I think what LIV did a really good job of is taking a lot of the big name guys, like the DJs but Rahm was. That's the best. That's the best player that they took.
Yeah.
You know, and I would love to see him back, and I think he would want to come back. So I feel good about that. All right, we have a big PGA Tour event coming up this week. We are getting our butts to Columbus as soon as we're done here. One of the best PGA Tour events. Huge crowd, amazing golf course. That's an amazing test. I like Columbus a lot. I have family in Columbus, Emma's family, but they're my family now. We're all family.
That's right.
And our man Rick Gehman, he's traveling. I don't know if he's traveling to Columbus or maybe he's going to Ponte Vedra to do one of those BetCast streams, but he has put together some picks for us for a huge week, Memorial Jacks tournament. Here's Rick Gehman.
All right, guys, Muirfield Village this week, and it's a big boys golf tournament. The top of the board usually ends up winning this event outside of a couple of weeks about a decade ago. But this is a golf course that has a really big penalty for missing the fairway. You have to be fairly exact and precise on your second shots. Experience goes a long way. And just look at the list of winners around this place, and it's basically elite players of the modern era. So keep that in mind as we roll through this. We'll start with top 20s for this week. And the one that I've identified is Adam Scott. He missed the cut at the PGA Championship, but that's his first missed cut since the 2025 Open Championship, nearly a year ago. And what I love is this evolution that he's had in his approach play this year. In fact, he's gaining about 0.8 of a stroke per round on approach. That's second on the PGA Tour, behind only Colin Morikawa. And his history here at Muirfield Village is great. He's piled up a bunch of top 5 finishes. In fact, he's finished top 5 about 23% of the time in his career starts here. That is second to only Patrick Cantlay. So I realize he hasn't won a golf tournament in over 6 years. I'm not asking him to do that. I'm asking him to finish inside the top 20. Top 10s, something that Xander Schauffele has been doing quite a bit of, and I'm going to hope that he can do it again and lay out the case for him doing just that. So he's got 5 top 10s this year. He's driving it better than he's ever driven it. He's such a good approach player. He's just done something silly, basically 3 or 4 times or 3 or 4 holes every single week. And it stopped him from winning golf tournaments, but it hasn't stopped him from being in contention and being on the first page of the leaderboard. This has been a happy hunting ground for Xander Schauffele. He's played here a ton, and he's got 8 straight top 25 finishes at Muirfield Village, and he's just been diabolical on approach there. So this is a course that really allows him to separate from many of his peers. And again, not asking him to win the golf tournament, just go out there and beat, the large percentage of it and finish inside the top 10. The winner for this week is likely Scotty Scheffler. And if there was ever a time to just bite the bullet on these short odds, it's right now. So Scotty is gaining 2.87 strokes per round at Muirfield Village in his career. That's the second best golf course for Scotty of any course that he's played, just behind TPC Craig Ranch. So we've got that part of it. This is a really strong tee to green golf course. Winners here almost always are beating it from tee to green, and Scotty at Muirfield Village is gaining more than 3 strokes per round from tee to green. In fact, if you go in the ShotLink era, we are 22 years into the ShotLink era. There is no better course player tee to green combination than Scotty Scheffler at Muirfield Village. It just end of story. So this is a place that really allows him to lean into his skill sets and find success. Obviously, I don't need to mention that. But the win luck just hasn't been there for Scotty here in 2026. I'm not worried about that. It's very likely to turn this week.
It's blue chip names.
Big names.
It's big names. It's a big tournament this week.
Good bets.
The only one who's not playing, Victor Hovland, pulled out. I'm a little concerned about Vic.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys, we talked about how when we're playing bad, we want to play more, get it out. When he plays bad and he feels like he's not in a good spot with his swing, he doesn't like to play.
Yeah, he wants to stare into space and think about the universe.
He wants to think about things, maybe do a little ego death in the mountains like I did earlier this year. But all the boys are back this week. Rory's playing this week. Scotty's playing this week. Xander's playing this week.
You get Scotty and Xander on our card.
It's a good week. Memorial is a really good week. We also have a poly market pick.
Oh,
a poly market trade that Rick likes. So let's hear his poly market pick.
As for a poly market play, somebody electric, maybe Minwoo Lee. So there's a couple of things here. The volatility of Minwoo Lee makes him a very interesting poly market play. He can go on runs. You don't have to necessarily take him to the completion of the event. You can get in, you can get out, and you can kind of see where you stand at all times throughout the event. But I'm really impressed with what I've seen from him in 2026. He's gaining more than a 1.3 strokes per round, which is like by far the best of his PGA Tour career. And the big reason for that is he is now an average approach player. That's it. He's just an average approach player, 0.02. But considering the fact that he was usually giving a lot back to the field on the second shot for the majority of his career, means that this has gotten him into a much better spot. And that's why you're seeing all those results start to come through. And that's 3 straight top 20s for Minwoo, with 2 signature events and a major championship in there. So this is a really good golf course for him. I think he can kind of continue this trend of upward and strong play and kind of lean into some of his improvements and be a really good poly market play for this week. All right, fellas, talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon, Rick. I was talking to, it was pre-recorded, Rick. I don't know. He wasn't going to respond.
We will see him soon.
Yeah,
we'll talk to you soon.
It's like when someone, when you're like talking to one of your friends on your phone and you're like, I love you. And it just kind of came out. You know what I mean? We have a code for you, Poly Market code. So if you use the code DOG20, you get free $20 on Poly Market. It's a good week to dip your toes in.
Yeah.
All the big boys, you can get some trade experience before the United States Open.
You put $20 on Minwoo at 1.2 or whatever.
You can trade for this tournament that we're at here.
True.
You know, there's the options are plenty. So use the code DOG20 for a free $20 on Poly Market. Our dog of the week, we're going back to college, back to school for our dog of the week. Our dog of the week is Malin Potgieter. No relation to Aldrich.
No relation.
I asked. He said it was actually, I saw an interview. He said it's actually a pretty common name in South Africa.
I wondered.
Doesn't seem like a common name, but...
Because if he's not related, it must be.
It must be a common name. So 93 straight holes this guy played without a bogey, and not just in whatever events, in the NCAA regionals and the NCAA championship. So this guy, his team wasn't even in regionals, and they weren't in the NCAA championship. So he is playing as an individual. There's a lot of pressure. So he started this off. He was co-medalist at his regional. He played 54 holes without a bogey at UGA Golf Club in Athens, and then he started the NCAA championships with another 38 bogey-free holes. So that is 93, because there was one more bogey-free in his event before that. He parred the last hole, bogeyed the second to last hole in that event. 93 bogey-free holes in the most pressure-packed environment that you could possibly have in college golf, and doing it as an individual too. When your team's not there, that's dog mentality.
Doing it for you.
Doing it for you. And that streak was broken. He started on 10 on Saturday. He bogeyed his 3rd hole of the day, and then he made 3 more bogeys and a double coming in. So when you break the streak, you might as well break the fucking
this
streak.
was at the point where like there were Twitter updates happening with like he's made another par, folks.
So the previous record, and this was an unofficial record, was 76 holes by Bobby Wyatt. Now, why does that name Bobby Wyatt ring a bell? I'll tell you.
Why does it ring a bell?
Because Bobby Wyatt was an incredible amateur golfer, played in the Walker Cup, got a PGA Tour card, and what is he doing now? He's playing mid-am golf.
Oh, that's why I recognize
He
that
won the
name.
Crump Cup.
The Crump Cup?
Yeah, that's the very prestigious amateur event at Pine Valley. He won that. Just a little bit of an asterisk. He played on the PGA Tour with a full PGA Tour card. So maybe the USGA should do something about that. We should ask somebody over here if they should do something about it. But no, this is about Malin Potgieter. What a performance for this guy. What a performance! 93 bogey-free holes. I mean, in any tour anywhere, but doing it as an individual, the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns.
Do you think he had even an idea of what streak he was on, or is he just like grinding one hole, one putt at a time?
I think playing a 54-hole tournament without a bogey, you realize
you notice like I haven't made a bogey.
Yeah, and I think because that win, that's how we got into NCAA championships, was being co-medalist in his regional. So I definitely think he knew, and then he 2 more bogey-free rounds. He probably thought he was never going to make a bogey again. Then he made a bunch because that's golf.
That is golf.
That's what happens.
He'll be back.
He will be back. Malin Pocket. He kind of shot himself out of contention to win NCAAs, but this is a huge week for the guys because the PGA Tour U also finalizes after today. So Ben James is in first place in PGA Tour U. He goes straight to the PGA Tour if he's still in first place after today. So it's a big weekend, and it's not just a big week for the top guy because 2 through 10 go to the Korn Ferry Tour, and then 10 through 25 go to PGA Tour Americas. So it's huge day.
A lot of movement happening.
Clipped Scoreboard. Go to Clipped Scoreboard. They have all the live updates. It's an incredible website for college golf, a great resource. Unfortunately, I think Megan Gane is playing golf still.
She's grinding. She was supposed to play 9. She might have turned it around.
She is. So we're hopefully we're gonna get a guest. We're gonna get a guest. Not maybe not on this show, but we're gonna get a guest for the Wednesday show.
We'll try in Ohio.
We have a guest in Ohio. We have a couple of interviews set up in Ohio, but I'm saying we're gonna get a woman playing in the U.S. Women's Open. We're gonna get them on Zoom, and we're gonna put it on Wednesday show. We have to. We got to. We're here.
We're saying it to you, so we're gonna do it.
We're gonna leave. We're gonna move on to Chirps from the gallery. Russell Henley. This guy. Some are saying that he has the perfect life because, as Patrick McDonald from CBS says, Russell Henley has made north of $50 million on the PGA Tour, and yet no one would recognize him if he stepped into a restaurant. Dream life. I would recognize him.
I certainly would. I wondered how true this was. Like, do you think he's?
Yeah, I think if you were to do like an equation of money made, world ranking divided by general public, like
his index is pretty strong,
high. Like I think you think about the other guys, like there's a lot of golfers who aren't ranked nearly as high as him, like an Adam Scott, who is much more famous, right?
I'll tell you what'll get him noticed, pulling up wherever he's pulling up in that jacket and his new blue Jeep.
Yeah, they'd be like, who's that guy? What tournament did he win?
Means something.
Chris Powers, a mainstay on here, he posted this of Justin Thomas. Justin Thomas does a lot of tour things.
Tour.
I feel like he's very tour with his mannerisms, with his club twirls, with the way he picks the ball up out of the hole. But this one, reading your punch shot like a putt. He's trying to see exactly what the start line is.
You ever do this?
No, I've never done that.
Oh, I do.
I've never. Do you? You get on your knees?
Almost every time. Get down like that.
Well, you do hit it in the trees a little more than I do.
Correct.
There were trees this week. It was nice.
That's right.
Russell Henley liked it. Ben Griffin on TV. We talked about this earlier. People are liking him for doing TV. It says Dan Weiner, not Wiener, Weiner. I hope Ben Griffin has a long, productive golf career, but he's a natural at TV. Has a future there if he wants it.
He can do it all.
He can do it all.
Golf.
This next one, there's a big trend in golf with the rusted wedge. I'm not a rusted. Are you? No, you're a silver guy, which is crazy. Your wedges.
I'm the shine. But you know what? The sun's been,
it's been
my Southern California life. Yeah.
I go for the matte black because I like it. But this one,
cool.
I think this is probably AI made. But he said, I hope my primetime Pettiford says, I hope my caddy has his tetanus shots because some of these wedges do look like a biohazard.
Yeah, straight up.
I feel like I saw something one time, and don't quote me on this, that they actually spin more because like the finish. No, but then the Titleist guys were explaining to us that's not true.
They were telling us that wasn't true, and I always assumed the same. I always just like, does that shit get on your ball? Like you run through more golf balls because of it?
If you're like a player from LSU, like I feel like you could pull it off. He seems like kind of like a tour, like a southern. Like Willie Wilcox should have.
Or being like a caveman golfer, like someone from like the middle of the Appalachians. That's just like that guy that hits like 500-yard drives. He's like hillbilly golfer or something like that.
He should have it.
Have
there's a certain profile. So Joaquin Niemann, we talked about that he won LIV Korea, and the internet is telling him that he should probably go straight to the bank. He should go straight to the bank with that because. Just
go to bank. Go directly to bank.
$4 million. This is from Jake Sherman. He should cast a check immediately to make sure it clears. I think that's a good strategy. I think there's probably a direct deposit. This is so true. So true. So relatable. There's just no. Last week when we were playing golf on Friday, I was so excited. I kept on looking at the wind forecast, and I was saying, it's gusting out of the northwest 20 miles per hour. I was forecasting. I called all three of you yesterday. I said, what are you hitting on one?
Yeah.
Separate phone calls. Aubrey K said, there's no better meteorologist than a man who has a tee time with a chance of rain. So true.
We know it all.
I think Justin Thomas, didn't he say he has like 6 different weather apps on his phone?
That makes sense.
Yeah. And then finally, I guess they had blackjack at the tournament. They had blackjack at. You could see. I think that's the Colonial clubhouses in the back. That's a recipe for some danger. It's a recipe for some danger, knowing the golf populace.
You get caught there all day. Woo.
Yeah.
Stand up. legs get a little wobbly.
I'm a little upset that we didn't get Mega, but I feel like we're gonna make good on this later in the week.
She's got dog mentality. She's out
so
there
we got to
grinding.
talk about Zone. First of all, I got one in my pocket. Warning: this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale is prohibited. As we saw this week when I went to a playoff, golf is competitive. It's very competitive. When you play golf, you know the competition can get pretty heated. The same goes for the all-new flavor of Zone nicotine pouches. I was messing around with the jalapeno limes this weekend. It is a burst of citrus meets a subtle, fiery kick, and each pouch is a premium nicotine experience with intensity and flavor that lasts. They are now available in 6 milligrams and the real moneymaker, the 9 milligrams. If you want Zone pouches at a discount mailed right to your door, which you probably do, you can get 20% off at nicokick.com/zone, NICOKICK.com/zone when you use promo code DanOnGolf20. We'll leave you with our clip of the week. Ben, did you know that Joaquin Neiman could do a backflip?
I do now.
That was cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
Like, with golf spikes too. There's a little different weight going on
there. Some people
there.
are saying, oh, he's going to mess up the green.
Tournament's over.
They could
They'll fix it by the next LIV Korea.
You ever heard of a divot fixer? I think this is, I don't know how many golfers could do a backflip. There's probably not that many, but Joaquin Neiman is one of them. Quick programming note, we are going to get our beautiful behinds to Dublin, Ohio. It's not Columbus, it's Dublin. You've never been there?
Never been there.
Excited to see it?
I'm a Penn State guy, so Columbus has always been like...
because it's Ohio State.
Yeah.
Got it.
But I'm ready for that to change.
I've been to Ohio State. Not what I expected as far as campus.
Just kind of mid?
Yeah, very mid. Like it's kind of right in the middle of the city.
Sense.
Very, very like sort of urban. When you think of Ohio State, you think if it's going to be like a campus like Penn State or Indiana or Michigan or even
That's what I always
my
pictured.
alma mater, Northwestern, where it's beautiful old buildings and you just didn't quite hit.
But I hear Dublin is actually very beautiful.
Dublin's a lovely,
manicured
lovely
Augusta
area.
style.
Yeah,
everywhere.
Dublin's great. Dublin's great. I'm excited. Unfortunately, we have to connect, but that's actually no. We're taking 4 Greyhound buses.
We'll get there eventually.
We'll get there eventually. We'll see you guys live from Memorial from Columbus on Wednesday. Give us a like and a subscribe. It makes a huge difference, especially if you've made it this long in the show. You appreciate what we do, and we appreciate you. So let's show the love mutually, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Love you guys.
¿Ya? Madre, me puse nervioso, güey.